Now on CoastTV News.
The rain from last night is clearing out. It's a damp start to our Monday, but a winter-like blast has made beeline towards Delmarva. I'll have details on when wind chills will feel like the teens and 20s.
Home business battle in Lewis. The city could make big changes tonight after more than a year of debate.
Training to save man's best friend. From airway management to wound packing, first responders in Ocean View are getting a hands-on training to save four-legged partners.
Summer streets under review. City officials in Rehoboth Beach could consider making the concert season road closures permanent after a busy summer downtown.
This is CoastTV News Today.
Good morning and thank you for joining us. I'm Grace Eckerly. Good morning, Elisa.
Good morning, Grace. Good morning. I'm Elisa Weber. Matt Pensick is on assignment. Thank you for joining us for our 6 o'clock hour after a very beautiful weekend.
It was gorgeous, Elisa.
Yes.
Had some short sleeves on. We got to enjoy a last little bit of not even just summer, but a really
early
nice
April outside.
It did. Yes. It really did. And it's one of those days where you're like, oh my gosh, life is worth living. The sun is shining. Yes. It's gorgeous. But now we're going to have, according to our first alarm meteorologist, Chris Mastrobono, a bit of a tight turnaround. We're not even just back to long sleeves. We're back to a winter coat.
Yes, hopefully you did not put away your winter wardrobe this weekend. And Chris, that is what we're going to be needing these next couple of days. Heavy layers, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be the case. Elisa, good morning, Elisa and Grace, and a pleasant good morning to you, Delmarva. Yeah, we had quite a mild weekend, and we're going to see a complete change here as we go into the day today, and certainly by tomorrow. We had a round of some rain and even a rumble of thunder overnight. That was all associated with a cold front. Now we have a few lingering showers, primarily from Ocean City down through Assateague Island and Chincoteague. These are very light in nature, and this is really the last of the batch of shower activity as drier air begins filtering into the region. There's the cold front well off the coast. The colder air kind of sagging back, but you could see it pushing over the warmer Great Lakes, producing some snows across to Chicago, northern portions of Indiana and Ohio. So that is the air that we're going to be tapping into come tonight and into our Veterans Day. Right now we're quite mild. We're in the 50s along the mid-Atlantic, 54 Philadelphia, and we're at 51 in Georgetown. 50 here in Laurel. Dew point 43. Winds are out of the northwest. We're at 53 Rehoboth, 51 in Longneck, 51 in Gumboro, and the cool spot there, Harrington, coming in at 48 degrees. Winds are in a northwesterly fashion, and their winds are going to be gusting late this morning through the afternoon as high as 30 miles an hour. So it's going to be much chillier than the temperatures are going to appear this afternoon. But the real cold air comes in tonight through our Veterans Day. It's going to feel like the teens and 20s, unfortunately, come this time tomorrow morning. We're going to hover into the upper 40s through the afternoon under mostly cloudy skies. Winds out of the northwest gusting to 30 miles an hour. I'll talk about how long this cold air sticks around in that full 7-day forecast a little bit later on the newscast. Grace.
Thank you, Chris. And this is our top story this morning, an ongoing debate surrounding home businesses in Lewis. According to the city's meeting agenda, they may change the rules about these home occupations tonight. The debate in Lewis has been going on for over a year, and last November, we actually spoke with the woman at the heart of this debate who wanted to run a dog grooming business in her basement, but said because kennels and groomers are roped into one category under Lewis code and kennels are not permitted, she was denied a license.
This whole process has affected my life because now I have to travel back to Virginia to my old grooming salon and start working there, and I travel there quite frequently back and forth, and I'm away from my family. I'm away from the American Legion that I'm a really huge member of.
Tonight's meeting could change the animal kennel part of the city's code to exclude grooming, as well as changes to other sections. The draft ordinance also categorizes home occupations into no impact, low impact, or potential impact based on factors like number of employees and parking.
Happening today, affordable and workforce housing are growing housing types on Delmarva, and Rehoboth Beach could be getting involved. Information is set to be presented during a meeting later this morning. City Manager Taylor Tedder says the city could use these types of housing.
Yeah, we definitely have a need for workforce housing in the city. We have a lot of seasonal employees, and of course the high cost of housing in this area is really an issue for some of those workers.
The Delaware State Housing Authority will give a presentation to Rehoboth Beach commissioners during a special meeting later this morning. That special meeting will follow the 9 a.m. workshop. And we are now taking a live look at Washington, D.C. Senators overnight reaching a tentative deal to reopen the government. And this just in, a procedural vote passed 60-40, with 8 Democrats crossing over to support it. The bipartisan agreement still needs a final Senate vote and then will need to clear the House.
NBC's Alice Barr shows us how the full process is expected to take days.
This morning, compromise in the Senate, moving the nation closer to ending the longest ever government shutdown.
The motion upon reconsideration is agreed to.
A group of Democrats negotiating with Republicans agreeing to fund the government through the end of January and certain departments like agriculture through next September, ensuring SNAP low-income food benefits would extend that long and end a growing crisis over food access.
I was being threatened to be taken away from them as long as this went on. That's crazy.
The deal would also reverse shutdown layoffs of federal workers and guarantee all federal employee back pay. But what it does not include has Democrats divided. Nothing on health care or extending Affordable Care Act subsidies.
Over 20 million Americans are going to see at least a doubling in their premiums in the Affordable Care Act.
Democrats who voted yes say tying a government funding vote to the health care issue simply wasn't working. This agreement includes the promise of a Senate vote on the Obamacare subsidies by mid-December, before they expire at the end of the year. And Democrats argue if Republicans vote it down,
they can own the disastrous premium increases that will continue to rise. They will own the fact that Americans across this country are going to lose access to health care.
President Trump and Republican leadership projecting confidence.
It looks like we're getting close to the shutdown ending.
I'm optimistic.
Though several key steps remain, most notably securing passage in the House, where many Democrats are already voicing opposition. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
New this morning, the Ocean View Police Department is hosting a training for emergencies involving working dogs. Happening this morning from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., Ocean View Police will host a live K9 Diesel high-fidelity K9 medical simulator demonstration. Police say training will let participants perform realistic trauma care on a lifelike dog model that includes airway management, wound packing, and hemorrhage control. The free demonstration is open to canine handlers, search and rescue teams, emergency medics, and veterinarians. It all takes place this morning at the Ocean View Police Department.
Tonight, Milford City Council is expected to review 2 funding requests from the police department. According to the agenda, Milford Police is asking for an additional $8,041 for exterior lighting upgrades at the department. Police say design changes to add landscape uplighting and a new electrical circuit caused the initial quote for the project to increase. Also, police want to move forward with plans to build a new evidence processing bay behind the department. The agency says the project carries a budget of almost $2.6 million.
Happening today in Rehoboth Beach, officials are set to review the traffic closures put in place for the summer concert series, and according to a presentation, what it would take to make it a permanent practice. The presentation shows that currently parking is prohibited starting at 6 p.m. on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays for 39 concerts over 3 months. Photos show how crowds will fill the area, even into the road. The presentation says to formalize the closure, the city would need to create new parking zones and, in its systems, amend codes and add 1 handicap spot. We're just getting started on this hour of CoastTV News today.
Coming up after the break, Rehoboth considers bollard bids. We'll tell you why the city is discussing the change and why some business owners have concerns.
And unique housing development details. We'll tell you what Georgetown leaders say needs to change to create cottage housing.
And holiday food rollout, we'll tell you about these 2 new offerings from big food companies that are based on holiday favorites. And First Alert meteorologist Chris Mastrobuono is in the Weather Center. We will check in with him after the break.
Good Monday morning, Delmarva. It was such a beautiful weekend, but unfortunately we're seeing changes today as cold air is knocking on our doorstep. Right now, rather damp out there. Ocean View coming in at 51 degrees. We had a cold front that pushed through overnight, brought us some rain and even a few rumbles of thunder. Few residual showers remain extending from Ocean View down through Ocean City into Chincoteague, but this is the last of the shower activity because drier air is filtering in. Drier colder air is filtering in. You can see the lake effect snow beginning there as that colder air moves over the warmer Great Lakes. We're at 49 in Bridgeville, 51 in Milton, 51 Long Neck, and 52 in Willards. Wind flow out of the northwest. We're seeing sustained winds anywhere from about 5 to 11 miles an hour. Now the winds will be picking up through the morning and into the afternoon. 47 degrees for the bus stop as those showers exit. A damp start, and those temperatures are going to be plunging. Look where we're at for highs tomorrow, 45, and it's going to feel even colder with the wind chill. I'll talk more about that here in minutes.
Thank you, Chris. This weekend, BB's Milton Health Center welcomed Delaware Health and Social Services Secretary Christian Linke Young for a flu and COVID-19 shot. According to the healthcare system, Delaware's top health official toured the Route 16 facility with Dr. Tam and other BB leaders. They discussed BB's growth and access to care in rural Sussex County.
Our own Leah Rizzo, the fabulous host of Coast Life, volunteered at the Finraiser Saturday night. The event raises money for the Murr Institute, which rescues marine mammals on the coast.
That was a nice event. And check this out. Taco Bell is rolling out the new Mountain Dew Baja Blast pie. They say it's a key lime style pie that gets an infusion of the chain's fan favorite soda. Lisa and I aren't really sure how we feel about this, but Taco Bell says that the unique treat will fit well with Friendsgivings, where they say anything traditional gets a creative twist. I think creative is one way to
Absolutely.
one way to put it. Taco Bell says that the pie is available for a limited time, in store only, and is only sold as whole pies. Those are $19.99.
Well, Kraft is unveiling a new flavor of its mac and cheese just ahead of Thanksgiving. It's, wait for this, apple pie flavored mac and cheese. Kraft says it combines the flavor of its signature box mac and cheese with warm notes of apples, cinnamon, and brown sugar. Kraft's apple pie flavored mac and cheese is only available for a limited time. Make sure you run to the store and get it, and it's only available at Walmart.
Oh man, I might pick some of that up later on. Well, it is a damp start out there. Temperatures are only going to be in the 40s today, quite breezy, and we turn even colder for our Veterans Day. It'll feel more like, well, the middle of winter come tomorrow morning. We'll talk more about that coming up next.
The time is now 6:16 and we are taking a live look outside at Lewis this morning. And Chris, we're coming off of a beautiful weekend, but we've got some interesting temperatures coming in. I'm glad you're not at Lambeau Field for the Eagles game. You're here to give us our forecast. I appreciate it, Chris. Thank you so much for being here and in person.
I wish I was there. I'm not going to lie. Well, I'll tell you what, it's going to be a cold night there in Lambeau and a cold night here as well. As you'll see here shortly, we had rain overnight, even a rumble of thunder all associated with a cold front. And we have a few lingering showers along the coast, but we're beginning to see drier air filter in. There's the front, colder air sagging back to the west, but it's coming. And you can see the lake effect snow beginning, and you see some snow across portions of Chicago, northern Indiana, as well as Ohio. But there's the cold air sinking southward, and then it will push east through the day today and into tomorrow. Right now we're at 50 in Laurel. Temperatures right now are at 51 in Milton, 52 Rehoboth, and we are at 51 in Ocean Pines. Wind flow out of the northwest thanks to the passage of that cold front. Winds right now sustain 5 to 17, but we're going to pick up those gusts through the morning and afternoon. We have that gale warning up for the Delaware coast. This runs through midnight Wednesday, and then also we have a gale warning up from Ocean City through Chincoteague and then the Chesapeake Bay. That runs through 7 o'clock Tuesday. Now the freeze warning is for Accomack County. We have ended the growing season for much of the peninsula. That is why we don't see widespread freeze warnings, but those temperatures are going to be dropping below the freezing mark as we go into the overnight. We hover around the upper 40s through the afternoon with those winds out of the northwest gusting to 30 miles an hour. So a mostly cloudy start. Clouds will break up through the latter part of the afternoon into the evening. Cold night, as I mentioned, we dip below that freezing mark, some upper 20s, and then we only stay in the lower 40s, lower to mid 40s for our Tuesday, and then we stay rather breezy into Wednesday, but gradually milder. Winds right through the afternoon, gusting upwards of 30 miles an hour. We're gusting in our 40 tomorrow, so it's going to feel a lot colder than what the air temperature is come tomorrow. Wind chills tomorrow morning are going to be in the teens and 20s, so dress accordingly. By the afternoon, it's only going to feel like the mid-30s. We're going to have sunshine, but with that wind, it's going to feel much colder than what the temperature is actually going to be. Average high 61. We're down to 45 for Tuesday, and then we'll bump it back up to the 50s for the remainder of the week. So it's not an extended stretch of cold weather, but the good news is high pressure is going to be building in mid to late week, and we stay relatively calm and tranquil with temperatures in the 50s. We're at 53 with temperatures falling throughout the day. We actually hit that high just after midnight, 29 for the overnight, a cold breezy night. And then yes, being greeted by wind chills in the teens and 20s for tomorrow, feeling more like the 30s despite that high of 45. We're up to 57 for Wednesday, so a rather blustery Veterans Day. We stay sunny and dry through the latter part of the week, 54 into Thursday. And right now, the weekend looking pretty nice and dry, but not as warm as our previous weekend with temperatures in the mid to upper 50s.
Thank you, Chris. A local giveaway is helping families get ready for the colder weather that Chris mentioned. And kids could go home with a brand new coat this weekend. Organizers say that families can stop by the Greenwood Public Library for free winter coats for kids thanks to a partnership with Operation Warm. The library says that the giveaway will take place November 18th from 3:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. and coats will be handed out while supplies last.
Georgetown leaders are expected to consider adding cottage housing developments off East Market Street. The goal of Little Living LLC, a Delaware-based nonprofit, is to provide 22 affordable housing units to people in the area. But before all of that happens, Georgetown needs to amend the current urban residential 1 zone to allow cottage housing developments. Monthly rent for the 1-bedroom home would be $950, 2-bedroom $1,100, and 3 bedrooms $1,200. All of them include utilities and internet access. The board member and secretary of Little Living says the nonprofit has received loans and other donations to help fund this project.
All this is meant to fit in within their existing income so that they can then spend the rest of their money on health care, automobiles, taking their kids to events and so forth.
It's important to note there was a public hearing for this idea on October 27th. Leaders in Georgetown will meet today at 6:45.
Up next on CoastTV News today, Rehoboth considers bollard bills. We'll tell you how the city says a change can improve safety near the busy area. We'll be right back. Happening today, Rehoboth Beach is expected to consider awarding a contract to install bollards behind the bandstand and in front of the bathrooms on Rehoboth Avenue. The city also wants to build a swing gate that will go at the entrances before the bandstand circle. The city cites safety for the plans, but some local businesses say that they feel shut out by the plans, even starting a petition against it.
I think it's just common sense. If you're going to do something that's going to affect the businesses, you should, you probably made your decision up, but you need to at least talk to people and find out what the businesses think.
According to city documents, a company called Concentric Security says it can do its part of this project, but not all of it, for $612,000. And that contract is set to be discussed today at 9 a.m.
If you're having a rough week, you can cheer up with a weekly dose of local good news from Coast TV with personal features, fun things to do each weekend, and more. You can sign up right now for free at coasttv.com/signup and get your weekly dose of joy directly to your inbox on Friday.
Unfortunately, we're not bringing those mild temperatures we had over the weekend into this new week here on Delmarva as we take a live look into Lewis. Cloudy skies, 52. We had rain overnight, all associated with the cold front. Few lingering showers primarily from Ocean City southward, but we're going to be drying out through the morning, but staying mostly cloudy. Turning quite breezy through the afternoon with gusts to 30 miles an hour. You see we're at 49 in Lewis and Rehoboth by around your lunchtime. A breezy afternoon through Cambridge, 49 by around 4 o'clock. We're touching the 50-degree mark into Crisfield with those breezy conditions as that colder air pushes in. PJ Walker, Milford, Delaware. You're the winner of an umbrella from Coast TV. Congratulations there. You get your latest forecast as always by calling our First Alert weather phone. Well, we have some pretty cold temperatures to talk about coming in tonight into tomorrow morning. I'll detail that more coming up in the next half hour.
Thank you, Chris. After the break on Coast TV News today, shutdown end in sight. We'll tell you about the potential deal that could reopen the government.
And affordable housing action will tell you how Rehoboth Beach leaders say they could learn more about the possibility for the city today.
And home business-based debate. We'll tell you about possible changes to Lewis Code that could expand options for business owners. CoastTV News Today returns after the break.
Now on Coast TV News.
The rain from last night is clearing out. It's a damp start to our Monday, but a winter-like blast is making a beeline towards Delmarva. I'll have details on when wind chills will feel like the teens and 20s.
Home business showdown in Lewis. City leaders can make changes tonight after more than a year of back and forth over what people can do from their homes.
Rehoboth considers workforce housing. The Delaware State Housing Authority will brief city commissioners this morning on how the city could expand housing opportunities for local workers.
Life-saving lessons for canines in Ocean View. First responders are learning how to treat four-legged workers when every second counts.
This is Coast TV News Today.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us. I'm Grace Eckerly. Good morning, Lisa.
Good morning, Grace. Good morning. I'm Elisa Weber. Matt Pensick is on assignment in Grace. I don't know how you, a Penn State alum, did not watch the game this weekend. I, a Rutgers super ultra fan alum, I watched it. It was a nail biter.
That almost seems like tyranny for you to skip out on that and say, I'm going to watch Penn State.
Our Matt Pensick,
very nervous for
was
that.
There. Fortunately, did not have
there was an expected outcome. Am I going to go out of my way to watch a game? But I will catch it up on social media, and I usually am briefed by it by, obviously, Matt Pensick and First Alert Meteorologist Chris Mastrobono. So, Chris, tell us about it.
I was at my mom's party. I was flipping between that and the Flyers game. Both games were tough. Well, Penn State being tougher, the Flyers lost in overtime. But we had some rain overnight and even a rumble of thunder, all associated with a cold front. We have a few lingering showers now, primarily across Worcester County, and these are going to be ending here over the next hour as drier air filters into the region. And that cold air we've been telling you about over the last few days, it lurks right back to our west. You can see we're down to 37 Winchester, 31 in Wheeling, and that colder air is making a beeline for the coast. Waking up to cloudy skies, 50 degrees in Laurel. We're at 52 in Lewis, 48 Harrington, 50 in Laurel. So temperature-wise, not all that bad. The thing is, the winds are going to be picking up late this morning through the afternoon, so it's going to feel a lot colder than, well, the temperatures are, and that's really going to kick off that cold stretch of weather we're going to be seeing here over the next 24 to 36 hours. So a mostly cloudy day, winds gusting to 25 miles an hour. The core of that cold air comes over us for Veterans Day. We wake up to temperatures, well, in the 20s and 30s, but the wind chill is going to feel like the teens and 20s, especially during the morning as those temperatures only get to the 40s tomorrow afternoon. So we're hovering right around the 50-degree mark through the morning and then upper 40s through the afternoon with those winds out of the northwest gusting as high as 30 miles an hour. We'll talk about how long the cold air is going to stick around. Full 7-day forecast is just minutes away. Elisa.
Thank you, Chris. Our top story this half hour, an ongoing debate surrounding home businesses in Lewis. According to the city's meeting agenda, they may change the rules about these home occupations tonight. The debate in Lewis has been going on for over a year. Last November, we actually spoke with the woman at the heart of this debate who wanted to run a dog grooming business in her basement, but said because kennels and groomers are roped into one category under Lewis Code and kennels are not permitted, she was denied a license. Tonight's meeting could change the animal kennel part of the city's code to exclude grooming as well as changes to other sections.
Happening today, affordable and workforce housing are growing housing types on Delmarva, and Rehoboth Beach could be next to get involved. Information is set to be presented during a meeting later this morning. City Manager Taylor Tedder says that the city could use these kinds of housing types. The Delaware State Housing Authority will give a presentation to Rehoboth Beach commissioners during a special meeting later this morning, and that meeting will follow the workshop set for 9 a.m. Now taking a live look into Washington, D.C. as the sun is coming up. It is the longest government shutdown in U.S. history that may be approaching the end. That's after the Senate voted to advance a stopgap funding bill. That was on Sunday night, and the chamber is set to work on its amendments today.
The legislation is bipartisan, but last night's vote squeaked by just a margin of 60 to 40. Amy Kiley shows us what's in the bill and the broader agreements around it.
The motion upon reconsideration is agreed to.
The government's a big step closer to reopening after the Senate voted to advance a stopgap funding bill last night. It's a compromise between centrist Democrats and Republicans. It does not extend expiring Obamacare subsidies, so many Democrats opposed it.
We must fight because a senior citizen cannot afford to pay $25,000 a year just for health insurance. We must fight to keep millions from financial ruin.
Republicans do agree to a vote on the subsidies by early next month.
We have senators, both Democrat and Republican, who are eager to get to work to address that crisis in a bipartisan way.
The bill funds much of the government through January. The broader deal has longer provisions for military, construction, and Veterans Affairs, the legislative branch, and agriculture. The plan funds SNAP through September.
People are hungry. And you can see also, sometimes in the kids' eyes, you can see their fear because they're afraid.
For federal workers, the agreement ensures shut down back pay. It reverses recent mass firings and prohibits any more this fiscal year. If the plan becomes law, federal employees will get paid again. That could prevent scenarios like this around Thanksgiving.
They changed the flight, then they changed it again. Eventually it got canceled, and when we got to standby, there were like 30 other people on standby.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
The Ocean View Police Department is hosting a training for emergencies involving working dogs happening this morning from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Ocean View Police will host a live canine diesel high-fidelity canine medical simulator demonstration. Police say the training will let participants perform realistic trauma care on a lifelike dog model, including airway management, wound packing, and hemorrhage control. The free demonstration is open to canine handlers, search and rescue teams, emergency medics, and veterinarians. It all takes place this morning at the Ocean View Police Department.
Tonight, Milford City Council is expected to review 2 funding requests from the police department. According to the agenda, Milford Police Department is asking for an additional $8,041 for exterior lighting upgrades at the department. Police say the design changes to add landscape uplighting and new electrical circuits caused the initial quote for the project to increase. Also, police want to move forward with plans to build a new evidence processing bay behind the department. The agency says that the project carries a budget of about $2.6 million.
Happening today in Rehoboth Beach, officials are set to review the traffic closures put in place for the summer concert series, and according to a presentation, what it would take to make it a permanent practice. The presentation shows that currently parking is prohibited starting at 6 p.m. on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays for 39 concerts over 3 months. Photos show crowds fill the area even into the road. The presentation says to formalize the closure, the city would need to create a new parking zone in its systems, amend codes, and add 1 handicap space.
Delaware Tech has officially opened the John and Elsie Williams House Museum and Conference Center in Millsboro. It honors one of Delaware's most respected political leaders. The restored 1927 home was donated by the couple's daughter, Blanche Baker, to preserve her parents' legacy of service and integrity. The museum highlights Senator John J. Williams' 24 years in the U.S. Senate and Elsie's community impact, while the new Conference Center will be available as a rental and host public year-round. Today marks an important date in military history. On November 10, 1775, John Adams drafted a resolution that created that was known as the Continental Marines. The date is now observed as the birthday of the U.S. Marine Corps. Currently, there are more than 200,000 active duty and reserve Marines serving in the United States.
And we have a lot more news to get to. Don't go anywhere.
Coming up, lessons learned after shipping tragedy. We'll tell you how precautions changed for commercial boaters after a huge shipwreck.
And tree interrupts traffic. We'll tell you about the debate over a pecan tree in Milton and what it has to do with a proposed Royal Farms. Stay with us on Coast TV News today.
Good Monday morning, Delmarva. It is a cloudy, damp start to our day in Ocean View, where the temperature is 51 degrees. We had rain overnight. The last round of the showers are beginning to exit the coast, extending from Fenwick Island down through Ocean City, but drier air is filtering in, dry, colder air at that. There's the cold front that pushed through overnight, now well off the coast, and now we focus our attention on that cold air mass we've been telling you about over the last few days. We're at 52 Bethany Beach, 51 Georgetown, 50 Laurel, and we are at 48 in Harrington. Winds are out of the north-northwest, anywhere sustained between about 5 to 14, but they will be gusting upwards of 25 to 30 through the afternoon under mostly cloudy skies. And then comes that colder air tonight. We're expecting many areas to dip below the freezing mark, and making it even colder is we're going to tack on a 30 to 40 mile an hour wind gusts into tomorrow, making it feel much colder than what the temperature is actually going to be. We'll talk more about that coming up my full forecast here in minutes.
Developing news, Maryland State Police are continuing to investigate the death of an inmate at the Eastern Correctional Institution in Somerset County. Troopers say 36-year-old Ray Stephen Asalemo was found unresponsive in his cell Sunday morning and later pronounced dead. Another inmate has been identified as a suspect, but no charges have been filed as the investigation continues.
Across Delmarva, a young child has died after a crash Saturday morning in East Newmarket, Maryland. That's according to Dorchester County Sheriffs. Dispatch calls say the 2-year-old girl was run over by a car. The Maryland State Police crash team is now helping sheriffs investigate what happened.
It's a big, rare tree in Milton, and it may have to be cut down. That's because Royal Farms wants to build a new location at that busy intersection in town.
And as Bob Trihey shows us, there are mixed reactions.
This huge southern pecan tree on the corner of State Highway 5 and Union Street could come down if a proposed Royal Farms is built at this location.
At 120 years, it's been here longer than anybody else in Milton. I don't know of any people that have been here 120 years. So it's in the historic district, and I think it's worth saving.
Kevin Fleming wants the tree to stay and believes the future construction at the site can work around it.
It's like they want to be good neighbors. They don't want to come in here and bulldoze everything. I don't think they do. It's nothing to their advantage to do that. So, yeah, work around the tree, save it.
Fleming is planning to take his opinion straight to the decision makers.
And then we're going to go to the developer, and then we're going to go to DelDOT and see if there's some way that we can do it. The tree's in a great spot to be saved.
This southern pecan tree that you see behind me stands over 100 feet tall. It's the tallest out of a handful across Sussex County. But history can be trumped by convenience, and Connie Murray, a Milton local, wouldn't mind a new Royal Farms, even if the tree has to go.
Well, I guess if they took it down, I'm okay with it, but Milton residents, I don't think that the town people, I'm not sure they're going to be real happy about that.
But she does have some other reservations.
Well, the entrance, you know, how the entrance is going to be, that's a big there, you know. If they can handle it with the light that's out there on the corner, fine. But if not, it's going to be a little tough because we are getting more and more people coming through here and trucks that come through here too.
Overall, Murray thinks most people will approve of the switch.
You know, you have ones that have come just recently in the past 10 years or so, they're not going to worry about it.
Because given the growth of the area, a lot of locals don't have the same deep roots that this big southern pecan tree does. In Milton, I'm Bob Trihey for CoastTV News.
Coming up tonight on the Delmarva Sports Network, your game of the night at 8 o'clock, UMES men's basketball hosts Cheney University. Then you can catch the final score at 10:30.
Time for some entertainment news now. Here is David Daniel with today's Hollywood Minute.
You and I have unfinished business.
Quentin Tarantino's Kill Bill came out in 2 volumes in 2003 and 2004. Now it's all coming together. Kill Bill, The Whole Bloody Affair will unspool in theaters beginning December 5th as one movie, running more than 4.5 hours, including a 15-minute intermission, and featuring a never-before-seen anime sequence.
Thunderbolt and Lightfoot. That sounds like something, doesn't it?
The 1974 action comedy Thunderbolt and Lightfoot, starring Clint Eastwood and Jeff Bridges, could be getting a remake. The Hollywood Reporter says Ryan Reynolds is producing an adaptation of the heist flick, including collaborating on the script and considering playing one of the leading roles.
From the Big Freeze to the Great Thaw, life finds a way.
Prehistoric Planet Ice Age Season 3 looks at the post-dinosaurs Pleistocene era. Tom Hiddleston takes over narration duties from Sir David Attenborough. The 5-part new season premieres November 26th on Apple TV. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Well, we have a cloudy, chilly day ahead of us. Temperatures are going to be in the upper 40s through most of the afternoon. Those winds are going to be picking up as high as 30 miles an hour, and it gets even colder into our Veterans Day. I'll break down the latest right after the break.
It is now 6:47 a.m. as we are taking a live look into Laurel. And Chris, we're nearing that time of year where people are taking a look at the forecast to see when should I get outside to do my outdoor Christmas decorating? And I don't think tomorrow is going to be that day.
No, you may want to wait till middle of the latter part of the week because we're going to have some really nice weather. But tomorrow, yes, it's going to feel like winter. Even today, going to be pretty chilly by the afternoon. We're seeing the last of the shower activity push off the coast. We had some pretty heavy rain and even a thunderstorm late last night, all thanks to this cold front that's now well offshore. But the cold air is sagging behind a little, but it is coming. And you can see it pushing over the warmer Great Lakes, producing some snow across Illinois, Indiana, as well as Ohio. And you could see that dome of cold air sinking southward, 19 in Topeka, 28 in St. Louis. And we're going to tap into some of that air as we go into the night tonight. We're at 50 right now in Laurel, mostly cloudy skies. 51 in Milton. We're at 53 in Indian River Inlet to 50 in Ocean Pines. Winds right now, we're sustained. We're about 10 to 17 miles an hour. It's going to be a breezy afternoon, making it feel chilly, a lot chillier than the temperature is going to be. We have gale warnings up for the Delaware coast through 12 o'clock a.m. on Wednesday, as well as gale warnings for the Bay and Ocean City through Chicotee. Those run through Tuesday evening. And we also have a freeze warning for Accomack County. This is due in part because they are, we have the growing season is over for most of Delmarva. That's why the National Weather Service does not have that freeze warning for the whole area. We're expecting those temperatures to dip below the freezing mark come tonight. We hover around the upper 40s through the afternoon under mostly cloudy skies. We remain partly cloudy through the overnight, dipping into the upper 20s to lower 30s. So very cold start to our Tuesday with the wind chill. It's going to feel even colder. A blustery afternoon with temperatures in the lower to mid 40s, and it's going to feel much colder with that wind, and we stay rather breezy but clear into Wednesday. There's those winds out of the northwest today, gusting 25 to 30 through the overnight, and by tomorrow afternoon we're gusting to near 40 miles an hour. With that colder air, it's going to feel a lot colder than it really is. 22 is going to be some of the wind chills we're going to see. Anywhere between about 17 to 25 degrees come tomorrow morning. And then by the afternoon, it's going to only feel like the mid 30s with sunshine with those strong winds. Now, temperature-wise, we're going to be 50s down to the 40s tomorrow, and then right back up to 57 into Wednesday, average high 61. So we're going to be below that for most of the week. The good news is high pressure settles in, and we stay pretty dry through the week. 53 degrees this afternoon with temperatures falling into the 40s, 29 overnight, 45, a cold and blustery Veterans Day. For heading out for services, dress warm, 57 by Wednesday. We remain sunny and dry Thursday, Friday, and the weekend right now looking pretty nice, but not as warm as where we were the previous weekend in the 70s. We'll see temperatures in the mid to upper 50s. Elisa.
Thank you, Chris. A tragedy 50 years ago in the Great Lakes, the fallout of the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald, resulted in changes in commercial shipping in those waters and eventually in vessels that entered the Delaware Bay. The Fitzgerald was the largest ship to ever sink in the Great Lakes. Chris Collins was an engineer on the Lewis-based Del River for 24 years. His first job in the late 1970s after graduating from the Merchant Marine Academy was with Oglebay Norton, the manager of the Fitzgerald.
When I got there, it was mandatory that we all got survival suits. If a survival suit is like a wetsuit, it's to prevent hypothermia. And the union made sure that every ship, everybody had a survival suit on the ship.
The tragedy is a contributor to having no large shipwreck occurring in the Great Lakes since the Fitzgerald. Tune into CoastTV News this evening for more on the impact of the Edmund Fitzgerald shipwreck.
The time is now 6:51 a.m. and it's time to check in with our coastal pet of the day. Elisa, now this is like a Delaware, Delmarva coast kind of dog.
I love it. Today's coastal pet of the day had a chaotic name but couldn't be loved more. On your screen right now is Chaos. As you can see, he loves the beach and his family loves him. Chaos was submitted to us by his family in Ocean City.
And we want to see more of your pets on Delmarva. You can send us photos and tell us what makes them so special if you take a look at your screen now.
You can scan the QR code at the top of your screen to submit your furry friend to CoastTV News, then watch weekdays from 5 to 7 a.m. to see all of the pets we feature.
And here's what you can look forward to this afternoon on Coast Life at 4 p.m.
Well, if you join us today at 4 on Coast Life, here's what's coming your way. If you're a golfer, you definitely want to check out what's going down at Eagles Landing Golf Course. Also, that holiday stress will be here before you know it. Our friends at Soleil Studio have some ways for you to stretch, sculpt, and sweat your way through the de-stressing of the holiday magic, if you will. And we've also got a joke jar for you since it is Monday. All of that and more is happening today at 4 on Coast Life. We'll see you there.
The time is now 6:55 a.m. and it's time for the things you need to know before you go. Happening today, Rehoboth Beach is expected to consider awarding a contract to install bollards behind the bandstand and in front of the bathrooms on Rehoboth Avenue. The city wants to build a swing gate that will go at the entrances before the bandstand circle. The city cites safety for the plans, but local businesses say that they feel shut out of the plans, even by starting a petition against it. According to city documents, a company called Concentric Security says that it can do its part of the project, but not all, for $612,000. And that contract is set to be discussed this morning at 9 a.m.
Ongoing debate surrounding home businesses in Lewis. According to the city's meeting agenda, they may change the rules about those home occupations tonight. The debate in Lewis has been going on for over a year. Last November, we actually spoke with the woman at the heart of this debate who wanted to run a dog grooming business in her basement, but said because kennels and groomers are roped into one category under Lewis code and kennels are not permitted, she was denied a license. Tonight's meeting could change the animal kennel part of the city's code, excluding grooming, as well as changes to other sections. The draft ordinance also categorizes home occupations into no impact, low impact, or potential impact based on factors like number of employees and parking.
Well, the showers we had overnight are coming to an end and the cold, drier air is filtering into the region. Highs today, well, it's going to feel more like the 40s with the wind. It's going to be a chilly afternoon under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight we dip into the upper 20s to low 30s, feeling like the teens and 20s come early Veterans Day morning. By the afternoon, well, we'll see plenty of sunshine, only going to get up to about 45. It's going to feel colder with the wind. It's going to feel more like the mid-30s, but the good news is if you're not a fan of the cold, we're going to be right back up to 57 by Wednesday and staying rather sunny and dry for the remainder of the week as high pressure builds in. And an early look at the weekend looking pretty good, and we don't see any rain chances until next Monday. So if the winter coat is deep in the closet there, maybe dust it off and bring it out. Because
Chris, all I needed to hear was upper 20s tonight. That seals the deal for me, I think.
But our director Cody loves the cold weather. You like snow.
Yeah, I like snow.
So you're looking a little happy today.
Small chance, maybe a flurry later, but I think the snow's going to be done with.
Fingers crossed. Well, thank you so much, Chris, and thank you for joining us here on Coast TV News today.
Today's show is coming up next at 7 a.m.
Then we'll be back with Coast TV News midday at 11 a.m.
And for even more news and coverage you can count on, download our Coast TV News and weather apps. Have a great Monday morning.